Hello Reapers, my name is Scythe and we are back here with some more Trove. Finally, it is about time we ended up having an actual Let's Play episode. It's getting so few and far between before I can end up actually doing Let's Play episodes, Reapers. It is absolutely insane. So, just to give a quick heads up of why I haven't actually been able to do the Let's Play episodes, most of all, it's just because there's been so many new things coming out in the game that I just keep doing the tutorials and stuff like that. And then when I'm just kind of grinding stuff, usually I end up doing that in a live stream because I don't want to necessarily bore you with the details of doing it all in an actual video. So what we're going to be doing is right now I'm going to go and get my Normal HYDRA 300 kills badge. I've actually had that waiting for me to get completed for quite a while now, and then otherwise I just wanted to talk about some other badges that I've been getting and just kind of like general progress with the game and everything like that, and the new class is coming out and everything like that, but most of all I talk about that in all other videos and everything. But the Vanguardian, I'm fairly sure that the class is actually going to be coming out in the next March 2018 update, so really pumped about that because we're going to be swapping over to that character. I'm obviously going to end up using it as my main, and then besides that, it's just as a character, I really can't wait to start getting like tutorials out and start experimenting with it on the test server, seeing whether or not it actually has its classroom ability, what the ability is, what the subclass ability is, divinity costume, so on and so forth. Yeah. So really exciting stuff. Now the other thing too is we're going to be getting a couple badges today. Most likely it's in the video title. But we're going to be getting the HYDRA 300 badge and 20,000 PR in every character. I know, right? Like seriously, I've wasted too much time on this game. Now, granted, I have like garbage gems on my characters. Don't sit there and think like, whoa, this guy's got like all his characters super duper powerful and stuff like that. No, they're not like super powerful at all. I just leveled up garbage gems specifically so I could end up getting that badge. And honestly speaking, folks, I would recommend that you do the same because as soon as the Vanguardian comes out, suddenly he's going to end up adding to that badge. I'm sure they're going to end up making all the badges work appropriately with the new class, meaning that the requirement to get 20,000 PR on every character is going to be one character harder now, right? And I know that for a lot of people, that's definitely a very difficult badge to actually go for. 25,000 PR is the big time maximum one. But, I mean, seriously, dude, like, I don't care about that one. Like, that is just... You would have to be way too pay to win. Even from my blood, that is way too pay to win. Because you pretty much have to pay to win to augment your gems. And apparently too, you know, the March update is supposed to be changing the way that augmenting and rerolling works. So that apparently those items are supposed to be a lot more common. We'll see what ends up happening with that though and how that's going to end up working out. But, blah! But in it, give me, the power I feel circulating inside me. Okay, so that ended up giving me a little bit more mastery, and I'm using all sorts of visual mods, by the way, that's getting rid of a lot of the HUD that's around my screen. You can see my little crosshair and everything like that. But if we take a look at our mastery, I'm at 542, and we're actually just missing like a little bit of mastery right here, so we're going to be able to get that as well. What's the other character that I need? My Shadow Hunter, I think, is actually just missing his ally right here, so let me put the Raptor Berserker on. That's gonna just get me to 20k PR. And then my Barbarian, I'm pretty sure I don't have my ally on him as well, so let's just do this. And braha! The power I feel. 543 as far as our mastery is concerned. Absolutely insane. And if we take a peek at our other badges that we've gotten more recently, the gems one I have out of the way entirely. I actually ended up fully upgrading 27 Stellar Gem stats, which incidentally you end up getting both of these badges so long as you end up fully upgrading 9 Stellar Gems, meaning that if we hop on over to the club, it's a little bit confusing for most players, even for myself personally. The explanation of those badges was just like confusing to me for like a whole month or something like that, right? But essentially it means that if you end up fully augmenting every stat on all of your gems, you're going to end up getting both of the badges, because there's a separate badge for just augmenting stats in general, as opposed to one where it's about fully augmenting one gem. And the reason why I ended up actually getting that is if we end up going over to our knight right here. Oh, whoopsie daisy, I'm gonna end up having, let me actually see here if I can end up, bloop. I can actually unblur my chat now while I'm actually doing the recordings and stuff. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But I fully augmented all of my physical gems, so I am absolutely prepared for the new character. As you can see, we've kind of got it all set up properly. I ended up getting very lucky with all of my rolls too, and kind of just ended up going the same route as my gunslinger, trying to get, you know, I have, I think 3 gems have 2 squares towards crit damage, and then the physical as the 1 square. Of course, crit hit, you're just going to have as just 1 in general. But they're all maxed out, so we got 3 squares to our crit damage. 1, 2, 3. And then the rest of them are just going to be physical, 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 and physical. This one, of course, is a gem that I still do have to re-roll because it's just got max health, so I'm not necessarily as powerful as I could be. And I don't have the Knight's Classroom ability fully augmented, despite the fact that I am 25 KPR on my Knight, which is why you saw when we were on our mount, we're flying, dude. We're at like supersonic speeds. Let me actually take a quick peek at this. When we do have our Knight's subclass ability on our character here, we're going to have, what is it? Does it even tell us what our movement speed is going to end up being? Not until we're actually on our mount. Movement speed is at 120. Yikes, dude. Like, I am addicted to this level of speed. It's gonna be really, really frustrating when the Vanguardian comes out, because I'm gonna swap all my physical gems onto that character, right? And it's like, then I'm going to end up losing this precious movement speed. Now, that said, too, I've actually been grinding up Shadow Towers like crazy because, of course, this week we got really lucky with the Dreadnought rotation. So I've grinded about 67. Like, last time I ended up doing a live stream, I ended up getting to 100 on Hard Dread, and then, not last live stream, it was actually maybe a month or 2 ago, right? But now I've since gotten 67 more runs, and that's just in this 1 week alone. So I haven't actually taken a peek, but let's see how many Binding Darkness I got. 58. That's it? That's all that I've gotten? Well, at least I can get 14 re-rollers, which, honestly speaking, I should probably be saving these bad boys for when the new class comes out, because we gotta try and get ourselves absolutely prepared. And why everybody's rocking the dance pad and stuff is because Luxian came around recently, and man alive, he had some amazing stuff this time, right? So let's swap back over to the Knight, and I'm gonna swap my thing over here so that I unblur the bottom left of the chat, and let's try and get, can we get it? Crit damage, please. Crit damage, there we go. And then crit hit, crit hit, crit hit, crit hit! Crit hit! There! Jeez! And people wonder why, like, and the devs wonder why the gem augmenting and re-rolling is, like, so discouraging to people and makes people quit this game. Like, seriously, it's so bad. It's so bad. So what do I actually have for my Knight's abilities right here? So I got a coefficiency mod. I'm at 4.5 mil, which, or 4.5 or 45? Yeah, 4.5 mil. I think we're doing pretty good. My physical damage is, of course, at 124, which, if I fully augmented my class gem, it'd be at 125,000. So this gonna be the same as my gunslinger. Over 100% crit hit, of course, and then very, very close to that 1.7 crit damage, which again, I would end up having if my class gem was fully augmented, because if we end up swapping over to my gunslinger, you're gonna see that I'm rocking 125, same crit hit, and then my crit damage is at 1773. So yeah, that's pretty much the best that you can end up building a character. Lots of people, like, lots of tryhards, I should say, like to try and argue otherwise and be like, hey, I have even more coefficiency. And it's like, yeah, what does that give you? Like 1,000 more damage? That doesn't even make a difference. So I'm really excited for when the Vanguard comes out, because it means that I can just swap all of my physical gems over to that character. And then outside of having to augment his class gem ability, we're gonna be able to see him at the end game right away, dude. Like, I'm really, really excited about that. That's gonna be really, really cool. And then also, just to explain a little bit about things that have been going on with all the Adventurine stuff, we've had some unsung heroes in the club actually grinding up the club XP and grinding up our clue bits and stuff like that, because we've actually made a few changes since the last time we ended up doing a Let's Play episode. We've got a fully augmented crit damage fixture. I don't know if this is fully augmented. I think that's actually, is that bronze or is that fully augmented? I don't know. Let's take a quick little peek at our fixtures right here, because I'm actually really curious. We got The Shrine of Skill, which is going to end up being right here, gives us a bunch of crit damage. Shrine of Ferocity is not actually augmented, but that one's going to end up giving us raw damage towards our characters in general. So that's why if you're sitting there scratching your head wondering, I got all the dragons, how come I'm not as strong as that? Or I'm in a club that has super fixtures, how come I'm stronger than you? It's because of the fixtures, guys. Like, that's the whole point. So join Team Pixel if you want. We're not like the strongest club in the game or anything, and I don't really care about that. But we got the Shrine of Vitality, which is kind of helpful because you can see on my gunslinger I got like 270k health, and before we ended up having the shrine I was at like 250 or 240 and would just get one shot by everything. Now I get two shot instead. And then otherwise, yeah, it's the adventurine itself. Whoa, nobody actually claimed our qubits or clubits there, but these guys seem to have actually fixed their quest finally. Recent hot fixes were actually changing how much adventurine these guys were giving, so it seems like they've actually changed it so that they're giving a little bit better an amount, which does mean that a lot of the quests have actually been nerfed. A lot of the exploitable quests, like the kill 30 enemies and stuff like that, so I'm gonna have to make updated videos on that whenever I find the time. I don't know, I'm not really in too much of a rush about it, right? And then there's been talks about U10, and there's so many things that have been going on lately, everybody. There's talks about new gear. No confirmation whether or not they're going to end up adding a new tier of gems. I think that the devs are pretty self-aware of the fact that so many people would end up quitting if they ended up actually adding a new tier of gems. So I think they're going to just be sticking towards having just straight up, like, you know, just new gear. Right? And then otherwise just been grinding up all my stellar souls and everything like that, going through shadow towers as much as I can, because that's the whole thing. The reason why I'm actually going through the shadow towers is, yeah, there's the binding darkness, sure, but most of all it's because, like, the roll for Dread was so good this week that I just got, like, so many stellars, dude. Like, it's insane. I'm gonna probably end up doing a bit more grinding after this if I end up finding the time. And then last but not least, my recording software and setup and everything like that has been absolutely overhauled. So what ended up happening in the recent weeks is, if you haven't already checked out the videos, I shouldn't even be flying, honestly speaking. It's slower than me on a mount, which is pretty crazy to think. But I upgraded to Windows 10. And that was not without its faults. Like, there was a lot of trial and error that I had to go through, and I mean, now only after a couple weeks it seems to actually be all ironed out, and I seem to have everything all worked out. But with it, I kind of took the opportunity to reevaluate a lot of my recording software and just kind of the way that I do things, because up until this point I was doing things in a very specific way, and I didn't really want to change it because it meant that I had to learn all new software and stuff like that, right? So essentially what I ended up doing is, you've probably noticed in my recent streams, I have a whole bunch of different banners and stuff like that I have show up. Let me actually just show you right here. This is pretty much what it all looks like, except my camera in the top right obviously isn't going to show up just because I'm using it right now. But either way, you know, it's cool. I always wanted to have like a higher quality streaming setup, and up to this point, like, again, it was just something that was so tedious that I didn't want to end up actually doing it. And then otherwise just been focusing a lot more attention on kind of setting up like my recording software as well. So I'm using my same streaming software, OBS, which is actually a free software. Fantastic. It's actually the best software out there, even over Shadowplay. I've been using Shadowplay for a couple years now. Originally I used Bandicam for my video recordings, then I swapped over to Shadowplay because it was more convenient, and now I swapped over to OBS. But man alive, it was a big band-aid to rip off with actually swapping to this software, just because so much time had to go into, like, I had to dedicate like 2 full 24-hour days just to figuring out the software and getting everything all set up. One was dedicated to all the streaming and stuff, while another day was just dedicated towards setting up my recording settings so that I could end up getting the same fidelity and same quality that you've all come to expect when using Shadowplay. Outside of the fact that the big reason why I wanted to move away from Shadowplay is it's got some serious problems. Now, I'm going to talk about all that in a little bit more detail in another video that's going to focus more specifically on that, but I just wanted to give you a quick little update, let you all know some of the stuff that I've been going through and some of the things that have changed. Seriously, dude, we actually lag spiked all the way back down. That's something they desperately need to fix in this game. It's just the lag is insane, dude. Like, what is going on with this game? But yeah, so either way, lots of very exciting stuff going on. I don't even know how long it's going to be before we end up getting to the next Let's Play episode. I know that I ended up promising at 500, episode 500, we were going to do another Team Pixel World Tour, which I don't know, maybe I'll end up doing a world tour sooner than that if I can squeeze it in, because obviously that video is probably going to end up being like an hour long or something like that. But, ooh, also, let's see, since they ended up fixing the Adventurine, did they finally fix these guys to end up dropping loot? Yeah, they did. Okay, cool. They didn't even put a download for that. It must have just been like an offline fix that they ended up putting into the game. Very, very neat. So either way, folks, thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. That's also going to build up loyalty points to my merch store. Links are in the description for that, where you can pick up this shirt and a bunch of other stuff. Still waiting on my new shirt. It takes so long for those to ship to me, and then I want to do a video on it and actually start using it in the videos. Seriously, it's the one that's got my new logo. And then for the fans that want to go the extra mile, you can donate to me for absolutely free with Gawkbox. Links are in the description about that. Sign on and stay epic, everybody.